Amanda Knox, who after nearly 6 years is telling her side of a story that made her a household name. Back in 2007, while studying in Italy, Amanda was charged and convicted in the murder of her roommate Meredith Kircher. Amanda spent 4 years behind bars before an appeals court set her free and acquitted her. Her memoir, Waiting to be Heard, is out in stores now, and this morning she joins us with her mother, Etta, her father Kurt, and her sister Deanna. It's good to see the three of you again. And Amanda, good to have you here in the studio. Yes. I remember when I first met you, which was just a few months after Amanda was arrested, the three of you vowed you would never, ever leave her behind, leave her alone.
That's right.
And you kept your word.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Of course.
That's what you do as a family.
You never wavered, despite all the expense, all the countless transatlantic trips, all the enormous disruption to every one of your personal lives?
No. Never. No. I mean, you know, as a mom, I think any mom would take care of their kid and do what they needed to do.
What is it like for you, Amanda, to hear that?
That's my understanding of how family is, and I think one of the more incredible aspects of my time in prison was understanding that not everyone has that, and I wish it upon anyone, because that's who I am, that's who we are, and I don't know how one would get along without it.
You really needed that. You're really lucky.
Yeah.
In that respect.
No, indeed. No,
yeah,
no.
Deanna, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it is. And it's incredible how much it makes a difference. I mean, other prisoners write letters to each other just so that they can receive that, and I got visits. Like, the fact that I got visits was an incredible thing.
And did the fact that you knew that they were in town even when they couldn't see you, on the days when they couldn't visit you, did that make a difference, knowing there was always somebody there?
Absolutely. I mean, I wasn't alone, and that when everything is this storm around you and you feel like you're just being pinpointed, it's terrifying to be alone, and I wasn't.
I'll never forget interviewing you, Kurt, and Deanna on the night just 3 hours after Amanda was convicted in Perugia in 2009. It was the middle of the night. Etta, in the courtroom, you had collapsed in anguish because you couldn't even speak.
Yeah.
Deanna, you were so distraught you got physically sick to your stomach at the courthouse. This is you and Kurt just hours after that verdict was handed down. Let's take a listen.
I was stunned. I said, how could you even do this with what was presented in the court of law?
We yelled across the courtroom as they were taking her away that we love her, because we couldn't see her.
You know, you have to put on a face. When we go and visit her, we can't cry.
You going to be able to do that?
We hope so.
Can't do it now.
What's it like for you to see that moment in your family's history? It was so difficult for you.
Yeah, it's emotional. I don't think I've ever seen that, just because I couldn't watch, I couldn't be there, I was not functioning that night.
It doesn't look real. Like, it doesn't seem like it was real in the moment, because I still don't think of it as being real, like it all happened. It's interesting to see.
I'm glad it's past. Yeah. And we're here now.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that. I saw them the next day in prison, and the thing that I thought
and they were putting on a brave face at that point.
Well, and that's the insane thing. I didn't know what to expect. I was completely distraught. I hadn't slept all night. They were trying to get me to take antidepressants, and it was just like, just leave me alone, please. And when I got there and I sat down with them, I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't know what to do. And it was actually Delaney of all, like, she was
your little
child,
sister.
my littlest sister, this child who just told me, looked at me with this straight face, it's going to be okay. And I was like, oh my God.
Of babes,
Exactly.
You know, you've said, Amanda, that you still suffer from panic attacks. What sets them off for you? What makes that happen?
I mean, it can be something as simple as a movie that I watched a movie recently in which there was an Italian dialect, and one of the words that I heard, affacciati, which means essentially come to the window so I can talk to you. And it was what prisoners would say to each other to come to the bars so that they could talk to each other across the hall. And I heard someone saying that, and I couldn't breathe. And it can be anything.
If you Google the name Amanda Knox, you get 7.1 million hits. You all know better than anybody that hundreds of thousands of those are not kind, some of them viciously unkind. Doug Preston, who is a supporter of yours, wrote, quote, "Anti-Amanda bloggers have become a cyber mob not unlike the witch hunts of medieval Europe." How do all of you handle the strong emotions people still have about you and your innocence or guilt?
You know, I'd say that they obviously don't know all of the factors in the case and all of the pieces of evidence and the fact that there is a total lack of evidence, and it seems that they just have hatred in their bodies.
But does it bother you? This is your beloved daughter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of course it does.
And it bothers me to think that they know me. That's one thing that baffles my mind, is that people talk about me as if they know. Like they're in the know about who I am, when no one's ever been able to speak with me. And
They don't
talk
know who
about
she
they
is.
know her personality.
You know, I tend to stay away from it, and I guess someone told me, no matter what, everybody has, there's unfortunately people out there that are just kind of filled with hate, and they vent that anonymously through the internet. It's a really interesting kind of phenomenon that I think there needs to be conversation about.
I think there will be.
Yeah.
Kurt and Etta, Deanna, it's so wonderful to see you under so much happier conditions here in New
Thank you
York City.
so much.
Amanda, it's nice to finally meet you. After all these years of covering you. All right.
you so
Good
much.
luck with the book. Waiting to Be Heard is on store shelves now.